Okay, when you actually go into it and break it down, like go all the way into it, you'll see it, and then start adding the precepts to it. You'll see that he's been talking about Israel the whole time.
Hey, that's because a lot of the history is mainly talking about the period of the Grecians. Hey, Jake, or really the biblical scholars, a lot of them don't understand it. You know, they don't understand how Jake was forced to give in into the ways of the heathen, or else they were going to be killed. Much like in the time of Antiochus Epiphanes. You know, that's where that Gentile state of mind started. You know, and it continued into the Roman, and it continued what? Into this rebirth of the Roman Empire, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's another thing. That's one of the key mysteries is dealing with how Jake became the Greeks.
Yeah.
Because any Bible post 18, I forget what year, it was in the 1800s, they finally decided to take out the Apocrypha.
Oh yeah, the Bible Destruction Group.
1826.
It was 1776 to 1826.
Right.
Those 50 years, maybe.
But a lot of the translations before that, they all had the Apocrypha in them.
Yeah.
Right. That's a major key point in history that you as an Israelite is supposed to know, because that's why when you read in the New Testament, by the time the fourth beast was in power,
Right.
Jake was all Greeked out.
Yep.
And the Lord had to pretty much open up the gospel to them and go and preach the word and perform the miracles to basically open up their eyes, man. And they had to, it was a new form of righteousness that the Lord was looking for from these Israelite foreigners,
Faith.
which was faith. All right? Because they had lived for hundreds of years in darkness, that Greek madness, you know? So why, how does it skip from the Persian Empire
Right.
when we was rebuilding the second temple right into Herod and you know, and the Caesars?
If you go back
And
a
where,
little bit further,
and where you get the Feast of Dedication? I mean, Feast of Dedication, yeah.
Which is Hanukkah.
Yeah.
right. What I was going to say is if you go back a little bit further than that, with the northern kingdom, because you made mention of it with King Salmanazar during the time of King Hosea, and the Assyrian captivity that we were under, the northern kingdom was under, you saw that they went away to separate themselves. So they went off and they didn't get all the rest of the text that went on with the other three beasts. Speaking of the Persians and the Medes, the Greeks, and then the Romans. So that's not written directly of them, but they still had another fold that had to come over.
Yeah.
And that's still part of the Israelites.
You still have remnants of the northern tribes that was still there. That's why in the book of James, at the top of the epistle of James 1:1, it tells you to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, greeting, because there was still some of the 12 tribes of the northern tribes that was among them. Not every single northern tribe left and came over to the side of the world. You had prophetess Anna. She was of the tribe of Asher.
Asher, yeah.
You know, the Lord spoke of her. You know. So we can get back to it. Read that second verse again.
And this too. It says, "Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh your power, which I command you."
Yeah, and another way to diminish it is when, like, you had the wicked scribes and Pharisees. They would try to add traditions to the law. They try to make it law. You know, like they had it to where, and the Yahushua called them out on their hypocrisy. They would try to what was this? Korban. That is to say, it is a gift. You know, in other words, because I want to dedicate this gift to the Most High, that's in the way of me honoring my father and my mother. You know, so that would be the excuse not to honor their parents. Well, that's one of the commandments.
Yeah.
Is to honor your father and your mother. So they would do stuff like that and omit the law just to keep their traditions.
It was another one.
So the fear of the Lord was being taught by the precepts of men. So they were adding to the Lord's word.
Mm-hmm.
You got some of those type of traditions going on today in certain groups. You got certain dudes that say that it's going off. If you allow semen to basically when you bust or whatever,
Go to waste.
yeah, they have a thing called semen retention.
Yeah.
That's a whole new thing, and Jake is teaching that like it's law.
How about the one you spoke of when they said that we're not in sin?
Huh?
Remember the one you had spoke of about Sakari teach that they don't sin?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
they going off on that too, you know. But I'm saying like when Jake they try to submit themselves to their own righteousness.
Okay.
Like it tells you in Romans 10.
Okay.
They have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. They try to go out to establish their own righteousness instead of submitting themselves to the righteousness of the Most High. A lot of them, they try to create their own righteousness by trying to, create their own standards and their own traditions. They try to, exalt themselves, man. You're not supposed to do that.
Hip hop, it's bruja.
Man.
Like that's how you put the word out. That's how you feed the sheep. With bruja.
Right. You try to add to the
niggas.
ministry with these gimmicks. That's another thing.
Yeah.
You think that you're gonna get through to the Lord's elect and wake up the elect through rap music. Doing these music videos, and you look no different than the niggas in the world doing these same music video shoots.
Just with fringes.
Just with fringes, and yeah.
And head wraps.
Yeah.
Miss Judah.
Miss Judah. Come on, man.
Miss.
What happened to the woman being in the back, man?
Yeah, kind.
Why you gotta be
There's some
seen
kids-
and noticed? Why you gotta be all in the mix, man?
There's some kids that need to be attained to.
Yeah. Showing off that big neck tack and shit, man. Come straight out of the projects and now you Sarah now.
Yeah, kind.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Go ahead, bro.
I got another precept. The customs of men. There's Matthew 15 at the top. It says, Then came to Yahushai scribes and Pharisees which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat their bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of Yahweh by your tradition? For the Most High commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curses father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, because this goes wrong, but ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have you made the commandment of the Most High of none effect by your tradition. The same account that you were just speaking of.
There it is.
And I'm going to jump down a little bit. This is 9, and then I'm going to go down to 12, 9 and 11, read through. It says, But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. And he called the multitude and said unto them, Hear and understand, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man.
Yep.
Then came his disciples and said unto him, and that was how
Because
you,
they was adding to it.
kind. Because Jake used that in terms of food,
Right.
but it's not talking about in terms of food. It's talking about action and thought, man.
Right.
Continuing, it says,
What you teach
Yeah,
doesn't
kind.
mean the wrong way. That's why I said if they break one of these least commandments and teach me so.
kind. Knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? I believe it's a little bit more. Where Yahushua directly said about washing hands.
Was that the other account?
I think it was at the top of the using Mark.
No,
Matthew.
I was going to say go to Mark.
Go to one of Mark. I think it's Mark 7.
Mark 7, like around 6 or so.
Yeah, kind. Mark 7 here. And it was 15 and 20 in Matthew. This is Mark 7 and 2. It says, I'm going to start at the top. Then came together unto him the Pharisees and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem. And when they saw some of his disciples eat bread with defiled, that is to say, with unwashed hands, they found fault. The Pharisees and all the Jews, except they wash their hands oft, eat not, holding the tradition of the elders. And when they come from the market, except they wash, they eat not. And many other things there be, which they have received to hold, as the washing of cups and pots, brazen vessels.
I got a quick something, right? So in the day of the Lord, and there's no food, and famine and all this going on, if we're going to be able to always wash our hands, we ain't got no water, but we always going to be no soap, we're going to always be able to wash our hands. You know what I mean? When we come across some food we're not supposed to eat, like some of this stuff, you know, people that teach this stuff don't put the pieces together. You know? We're not always going to be able to, if you can, great, it's healthy, but at the same time, you know, you're not germs and all of that or whatever, but at the same time, the most important thing is to actually eat. This is all a bigger point though from that taking place.
Yeah, kind of, because the scriptures say if they add what, add no jot nor tittle, you know? Continue.
One of these commandments shall pass.
Is 5. Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, why not walk thy disciples according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? And he said unto them, he answered and said unto them, well hath Isaiah prophesied to you hypocrites. Yeah, Isaiah. As it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for the doctrines, the commandments of men.
That's Isaiah 29, by the way.
But laying aside the commandment of the Most High, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many others such like things ye do. And he said unto them, who will ye reject the commandment of the Most High, that ye may keep your own tradition?
Yep.
That was the point.
To their own tradition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Yeah. It's 13, making the word.
And it compelled you to do it.
Yeah.
So if you wasn't doing that, then, you know, it was as if you was breaking the law of the Most High. You know, so it was added to the word. You know, and that's why Yahweh tried to come and take that burden off of Israel.
Yeah.
You know, that was placing the burden upon them. And then the ones, those are the circumcision later on. You know, after Yahweh had ascended, they was trying to put those same burdens on the Israelite foreigners that was coming in.
Yeah.
They fresh out of the world, you know, living the life of a Gentile, and then automatically, now keep all these commandments. Get circumcised right now. Keep this holy day, do this and do that. Like, come on, man. It took us years, like even to this day, when we came in, it took us years to try to, you know, master some of the things, some of the practices of our customs, man. We still not 100 in the Hebrew, even down to how we keep the high holy days. We keep it according to how we were taught.
Right.
But I'm sure we wasn't keeping it like how we did in the ancient world.
Right.
Yeah.
And the King David keeps selling.
God. The lamb that we got is definitely not guaranteed that it's a male, a year-old male, that it had no blemish, you know. So hey, you know, it's a process, and we're under grace. And that's why the Lord's going to program us to keep it perfectly when we're in the kingdom.
Right.
And plus, we're gonna have our own sovereignty, so we're gonna be able to keep these statutes. We're not gonna be under the jurisdiction of Esau that tell you, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that.
Peter not gonna come and get us sacrificing the lamb on the cross. So, you know, it's a sacrifice, but you know what I mean, like killing it, you know, to commemorate the Passover.
Yeah.
So let's get back to it.
This is continuing Mark 7. It says 9, and he said unto them, who will ye reject the commandment of Yahweh, that ye may keep your own tradition? For Moses said, honor thy father and thy mother, and whoso curses father or mother, let him die. Let him die the death. For ye say, if a man shall say to his father or mother, it is korban, that it is to say a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, he shall be free. And ye suffer him no more to do aught for his father or his mother, making the word of Yahweh of none effect through your tradition, which ye have delivered, and many such like things do ye. And when ye had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand.
Oh, stick.
It's a windy day today. We're probably gonna get some messed up audio. Probably ain't gonna be able to hear us. I'm already knowing.